Okay, so, sunlight falling on your steel, not exactly something you'd find, like, in a Shakespeare play, right?
Right.
But that's Iron Maiden for you. They can be
So-
sneaky with their depth, you know what I mean? Like hiding it between all those killer riffs.
Yeah, totally.
And that leads us to today's deep dive. We're tackling Peace of Mind, that 1983 masterpiece from Iron Maiden.
Which, by the way, is way more than just your typical heavy metal, landmark album. We're talking next level stuff here.
Yeah.
Like a wild ride through history, mythology, even a little sci-fi.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in that classic Iron Maiden sound.
And just so everyone knows, we've got the lyrics right here. Pulled them straight from metalstorm.net. No filters, no interpretations, just pure, unadulterated Maiden. So get ready for the words that built a metal masterpiece. Even if you practically have every guitar solo memorized. I'm talking air guitar in front of the mirror memorized. Get ready to hear Peace of Mind with completely fresh ears.
For sure. And just to kick things off, got to mention, this was their first album with Nico McBrain on drums. Talk about a lineup change that basically cemented their place in heavy metal history.
Oh, absolutely. And we can't forget this album dropped when Iron Maiden was already known for crazy good musicianship. But Peace of Mind,
Yeah.
I mean, this is where they just took everything up a notch. Not just the music, but the lyrics too. Ready to hear what I mean?
Let's do it. Why don't we start with The Trooper? Man, the lyrics on that track, they paint this super vivid picture of the Crimean War. Like you can practically hear the clash of swords and smell the gunpowder.
Speaking of The Trooper, you know that song's actually based on a real historical event, right? The Charge of the Light Brigade?
Yeah, one of history's biggest military blunders, to be honest. Imagine this, hundreds of British cavalry just charging head-on straight into Russian artillery.
Didn't you say bravery?
Intense. Talk about a suicide mission.
It's really no wonder that song has this underlying sense of doom woven into it. It's crazy how Iron Maiden can capture that, the mix of heroism and tragedy all at once. And hey, since we're talking history meets heavy metal, let's shift gears over to Where Eagles Dare. Now, if you're into war films, you might already see where I'm going with this.
Where Eagles Dare. Gotta love it. A straight-up tribute to that classic Clint Eastwood film from '68. And they don't just give a quick nod to it or anything. The lyrics basically tell the whole plot of the movie.
It's true. They really get into it. It's so much more than just name-dropping a cool movie. They nail every single detail, from the snowy mountains to that crazy cable car escape. It just shows that even when they're rocking out, Iron Maiden still sweats the small stuff, They weave those little details into this super tight narrative.
Exactly. It's like they can go from this gritty war story to pure mythology in a blink of an eye.
And speaking of mythology, that takes us straight to Flight of Icarus. I mean, everyone knows the story, right?
Yeah.
The dude who flew too close to the sun, melted his wings, the whole deal. But Iron Maiden takes this classic cautionary tale and turns it into something epic, like only they can.
Yeah, they really nail that that mix of ambition and recklessness.
Yeah.
Those soaring vocals, the almost kind of sad guitar melodies. It's like you're right there watching Icarus fall.
It's kind of dark when you think about it, right? They're not shying away from how ambition can have a downside. Like a reminder that even with the best of intentions, sometimes we aim too high.
For sure.
But okay, enough with the Greek tragedies for now. Let's switch gears. Ready for something a little different, a little more unexpected.
You do it.
All right, let's dive into To Tame a Land. Now, this is one where the story behind the song is almost as interesting as the lyrics themselves.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So this one's for all you Dune fans out there. And before you say anything, we know. We know Iron Maiden actually tried to get permission to use the name Dune officially. But Frank Herbert, he wasn't having it, said, nope, not going to happen.
Can you imagine being in that room, though? Iron Maiden walks in heavy metal blaring, trying to convince Frank Herbert this is a good idea.
Right, and Herbert's probably sipping his tea yeah, no, thanks. But all jokes aside, even without being able to use the name Dune, they still captured the feel of that whole world. The desert, the political stuff, those giant sandworms.
They even mentioned the Kwisatz Haderach.
I know, right? So wild. But it shows you how Iron Maiden can take something as complex as Dune and make it their own.
Yeah. It's not all about space and sandworms, though, right?
Right. Peace of Mind definitely has its darker moments, more like looking inward.
Exactly. Like with Still Life, this one's not about historical battles or mythology. It's about facing those inner demons.
Oh, yeah. Still Life is creepy. It's like staring into a dark mirror, not liking what you see. All that paranoia and fear. Yeah. Definitely not your typical headbanger anthem.
And then there's the last track on the album, Cross-Eyed Mary. Kind of a curveball.
Right. We're ending on a cover.
Oh.
And not just any cover, a Jethro Tull song.
Bold move. But it really works. It shows how much range they have and how they're not afraid to give a nod to their influences.
And Cross-Eyed Mary is a pretty heavy song itself, lyrically. I mean, it goes into poverty, social inequality, the rougher side of London, a far cry from ancient battles and Greek myths.
Definitely a different vibe.
So there you have it. From historical battles to, like, outer space and giant sandworms, even a little social commentary thrown in Iron Maiden really takes you on a trip with this album.
For sure. And it makes you realize there's so much more to them than just the heavy metal, which they obviously kill it at, don't get me wrong. But with Peace of Mind, they're showing you there's brains behind all those riffs and drums. They're crafting stories, making you think about stuff.
No doubt, they make you want to bang your head. They make you think. Heck, they might even make you go dig out that old copy of Dune you've got. And that's what makes these deep dives so awesome, right? Uncovering all those hidden layers in the music, the stuff you might not pick up on just listening to it casually.
Totally. And speaking of hidden layers, we just scratched the surface with Peace of Mind today. I mean, seriously. We could spend hours unpacking every lyric, every little reference.
Oh, yeah. So many historical Easter eggs.
That's crazy.
Crazy. It really makes you wonder, though, right? What other hidden gems are we missing in our favorite music? Like, what stories are hiding in plain sight?
Right.
It just goes to show you, even the music we think we know, there's always something new to discover. And hey, maybe it'll inspire you to do a little digging of your own.